Welcome to the True Mark Easter. Easter is a special day for many people. And like Christ died on that cross, and we're all waiting for him to come back. But every year, like every Easter, he's back. Every Christmas, he's back. Every holiday, he's back. Spiritually, like he's
Yeah.
back many times. And technically, is he really coming back, or is it spiritually coming back? Like on these holidays or special days. Like I mean, he should only die on that cross once, not every year. He shouldn't have to die on that cross. So when he died on the cross the first time, it's for all of us to be forgiven and start a new life and to recognize that for what he's done. And any celebrations that we do for him and in his name, it's special, and it shouldn't be that for him to be crucified all the time. It should be a celebration of freedom, that he brought the spirit for us, that we
Yeah.
all have that spirit within us, and more so that life could be changed because of that man. And furthermore, ourselves, at each individual, our lives could be changed if we accept it. And furthermore, like in anybody's belief, brings in a spiritual meaning. Like anybody's thing that they practice on a regular base brings freedom. It brings a spiritual coming. It's not like a physical
Yeah.
person coming, it's a spiritual person that's coming. And furthermore, like he brought the spirit within everybody, and it's to get that spirit renewed and be relit up all the time. And today is a special day, so we could really get lit up. But I believe that man should only die once, and for that one time is that we all recognize it and that we grow as a unity. Like he wants us to be all as one.
Yeah.
And furthermore, our earth is supposed to be like heaven, like a heavens, like it was created to be a heaven. And it can be if we get in the right state within each individual. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all within ourselves.
Yeah, that's true.
So we could pick and choose how we live, but only on special days is when it really opens the light within people. And then after the day goes by, it's forgotten again. So every day should be
Mm-hmm.
a day where we recognize that man, what he did for all of us. And furthermore, God is very special, and Christ, and everybody that walked at that time with him, it holds a special thing in life, and we do too. It all depends what we can bring into this world. We could be special as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like it's difficult times, and many times. Like the other day, I thought I was having a heart attack, and it's because I fell back into my old life. It's my old way of thinking. When you get paranoid and you start thinking stuff, and then
Mm-hmm.
I started stressing out. Why? Because I fell back a little bit into my old way of life. But I mean, God lets us know. Like I mean, because we all got free will, and like I said before, like everybody, in poor areas that are, got, there's a lot of good people in poor areas. It's not just bad people
Yeah.
in poor areas.
That's
But
really
I
true.
mean, it's the way the system is developed. If the system could really look at it correctly, it could fix it. It's easy to be fixed. It gives them people that all have free will their place in life. If they have their place in life, it's not going to pollute the other people's lives.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, if you got a good job, you have certain areas where you can live. Some other people can't, but everybody has their free will and everybody has their rights, and obviously a lot of places in every city, people just ain't gonna change overnight.
That's very
It
true.
takes a long time to change, but I mean, if they had their place in their area where they could call home in their area, that's their place. It gives them that fighting chance to get out of that
Mm-hmm.
place. But if you're going to keep moving them around and pollute every area, it's totally foolish. And our world is it's full of pollution, and it's because we never grabbed onto Jesus Christ and God and all the things that He brought to give us that freedom. So, but I mean, He also give us a place, and I believe in heaven, it's going to work the same way.
Yeah,
If you don't have
definitely.
the Spirit within you, you're going to have a distant space in there, and Earth, I believe it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the same way. If you can't get a good job and you're struggling, you're shoved in a corner. You're shoved way back, and even if you're such a really good person, you're still pushed back. But I mean, give that person their good place to live. Give them that place where they could call their home in that area
And they'll
where
actually
their
feel
free
at home.
will allowed them to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the world will act and clean up itself. We wouldn't need all these city officials stepping down on people and just feeding off of all the negative, because it doesn't need
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
be negative. It could be a positive place. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, each person, if you had the time to really think about it and really weigh it out, where's your free will leading you? Where's your free will? Where did it take you? Like the free will is free will. God give us free will. But I mean, if you have a good spirit within you, you're gonna pick better choices, better things to do in your life. You're able to change your life so much better. And that goes for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are and where you are. We all got that free will. But I mean, it depends on development. If you
Exactly.
have
Yeah.
that spiritual development, and you'll be able to grow and move forward to better ways. But I mean, I use God and I use Christ in my life now more than I ever did. But I mean, he also give me the book of John 1 to 21 to read, and I took it serious, and now it's becoming something for myself even more and more. And the keys to heaven were created out of it, and it gives my spirit a strong base, a strong rhythm where I can move forward, and I'm led by the Spirit because I'm fed by the Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, like you could have better choices, better pickings. There's always something better that could be happening.
Yeah, that's true.
But and today is a very special day, like that. When Christ died on that cross, He risen, He brought the Spirit. What more?
Yeah,
You
and that was
know,
like basically the start of the whole journey.
yeah, the new
Yeah.
Spirit. Like He brought the Spirit, but a lot of us with that free will choose not to accept that Spirit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everybody's waiting for Christ to come, but He's been here so many times over and over and over and over, and that's in the Spirit, and that's that energy that you're within yourself, that you can see it and believe it and accept it.
And that's kind of exactly how the spirit is. You have to trust in it. So like you don't physically need to see Jesus to know that he's here.
Yeah, spiritually.
Yeah.
Like I mean, we know He died on that cross. We know
Mm-hmm.
He risen because it's in the books. It speaks of it. But I mean, is He waiting for us to to snap out of it, or is He waiting for us to just be the same, run our life with the free will He gave us to go and be polluting and keep polluting, or does He want us to change our life to become better people and recognize that He died for a cause?
Exactly.
You
I
know,
think
He died on that cross for a cause, but if we don't accept it and we don't change our ways, He died
for
for nothing.
nothing. Yeah.
you know. So take today as a real special day. You know, maybe some people out there just don't believe in it, but if you have something to believe in, you have something.
But everyone celebrates Easter basically, so you just have to realize why you're celebrating Easter.
Yeah. And hold it every day, not just
Yeah.
every Easter.
Don't just like.
Every day is an Easter, because every day that man died. Like, I mean, he died to give us all freedom, and that's if it changed you today, it saved you today. If it did it yesterday or a year before, you know, whenever, it did free you.
Mm-hmm.
But you hold on to it
And you appreciate it.
very much so, and your life can be changed for a totally positive way because of it.
Mm-hmm.
So our journeys are what we decide to pick for.
Exactly.
And our journey is where our spirit is. If we have a lack of spirit, we're going to have a lack of journey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said before, like, I mean, anybody can have a franchise, but it's not everybody that can create a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
But
and
the
keep
one
it
that,
succeeding.
yes, and the one that creates the franchise is the one that's with the spiritual meaning within him. It was led to him. He was gifted by it, and you know, education, everything comes. If you're in a good spirit, your education will fly through. Everything will fly better, and sure, you might have some downfalls, but that downfall is
It teaches you in a way, Tim.
But if your spirit's in a good way, you're gonna pick up on it faster, and you're gonna be able to gain your results quicker. But I mean, if everybody gets results, but some people are really slow at it because they're down. And why? Because they're not spiritual led, because they don't believe in that man Jesus died on that cross. They don't believe in God in the way it should be. You know, it's a spiritual thing. Like, I mean, now when he died, before our time, so we got to look within ourselves in a spiritual way.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual thing to really see and watch that man, what he did, and to bring joy and everything to us now. It's all spiritual. You ain't gonna see it physical, because that man ain't gonna die the second time. You know, he really did it. So it's all spiritual now.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so we gain only if you accept stuff. We gain only if you believe in stuff. But if you don't have nothing to believe in, you got nothing to gain.
Exactly.
So
That's very true.
we have to, you know, like, and a lot of people have different beliefs, and that's all accepted. It's all good if it changes your ways. But if our world ain't changing, it means there's a reason behind it, because there's no physical growth.
Exactly.
Spiritually. But if you could really believe in Christ and spiritually, we could really change, because we have to all kind of sit back and look at it, look at the way the world's going. And does Jesus really want it to be like that?
No.
Or does he want change? He definitely wants change. He'll come back to a changed place, but if it's polluted worse than what it was before, why would he want to come back?
Exactly, yeah. He knows that it's not going to change everyone. Some people might not believe it's actually Jesus, you know? Like, so you have to have physical faith. Because that's what lots of people say. They say, oh, I need proof when he's here. But then if he did show up, lots of people wouldn't even believe it, like that it was him.
Well, it's spiritual. The spiritual things, if you could accept things spiritually, you're going to see the change immediately within yourself, because you accepted something. But you have to have a meaning to something. Like, if you don't have that meaning, you don't have something. And if you don't have something to look for in your life change, you aren't going to look. It's like he says. Like, I mean, once he gives you something and it gives you the ability to look for change, you're going to watch and you're going to notice change. The only way you don't see change is because you're not looking for the change.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you need something to guide you to change. And the Spirit will lead you into change. It will lead you into the better ways. It would lead you into the ways of, where you can recognize your negative, where you can recognize your positive, where you're going to grow better and positive. If you're feeding that spirit within you, and really understanding that Jesus is here spiritually, and then you can open your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Like we could
That's
all
very true.
become open about stuff, and definitely we can make a difference in this world. That's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he all wanted us to do in the first place.
Yeah, I think so too.
And if God wanted it for the first thing in the very, very first, like when he asked Adam and Eve, I never lived there, so I can't really say the exact words what happened, but spiritually, physically, I try to visualize it and suck it in and
Yeah,
and
understand it.
understand it. But I mean, we could learn from their mistakes if you understand. So by learning from their mistakes, it means that our eyes are open to what they missed out.
Mm-hmm.
The opportunities are here.
And then you have to cherish those moments because
Yeah, but the fruits are going to show within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
The fruit, of what you're bringing into the world is it's gonna blossom. It's gonna show people, who you really are.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
So yeah, Easter is a special day, but every day is a special day for me now. It never used to be because I used to live life like on the edge all the time. I was, always on the edge of my life, and sure, God granted me, gave me businesses and stuff
That was to help you keep going, to keep
to get me
moving.
where I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand it now more. And he gave me like my free will. He gave me the opportunity to go tear around and do what I'm doing. And I'm thankful that I didn't die in that time because I would have missed out the opportunities what I
Exactly.
got now. So I'm grateful, that God spared me, and he gave me that life before, and he allowed me to live it.
But he also like granted you a new life.
Yes, he gave me a new life that I could see, and I understand it way better now. And a lot of these holidays and stuff, I never really paid attention to. I never really, cared for them. And like Christmas, I never really cared for because a lot of people couldn't celebrate Christmas. They couldn't get gifts and stuff, and that really bothered me. But now with the spiritual world, with that I accept in now,
You don't
so
need physical gifts, it's
it,
all about emotional.
but I mean, like I was saying with the holidays and Christmas, and now I celebrate the new life, like I mean, of living before celebrating death. Like I was dying, I was getting older. Now I'm getting younger spiritually. So it's worth celebrating now because I mean, it's a different outlook.
Yeah.
Before I was looking at it totally opposite, but now I look at it instead of getting older, you're getting younger because it's
Mm-hmm.
spiritually.
Yeah.
Spiritually gives you youth. The old ways give us age and
Mm-hmm.
death.
Yeah.
God sent Christ to give us life. So isn't that better to celebrate that you're
Mm-hmm.
you're 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 living youth. You're getting younger instead of older spiritually. Like
Mm-hmm.
I said that a couple times already, but I feel more younger than older now. Before it felt like my life was draining, like I was dying. So
Yeah, that's a good sign, though.
yeah, because I got every day is a new day, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a special day, and I don't know. It paid off to read John 1 to 21 for me for 100%, and to live by the keys to heaven. It's a system, and it's base feeding the spirit, and it gives the spirit juice, and it gives my mind more abilities to see different things.
Yeah.
And I look at life way different now than I did before. And every day I'm trying to help change, you know, our life, or, the
And other
living.
people's lives that need
Well,
saving.
it's not just the other people's, it's the
No, but
way I look at it. Our system could be changed. And like I said, the poor areas don't have to be poor no more.
mm-hmm.
Everybody has their free will. And the biggest thing is to put everybody in their place. And there's always an opportunity to grow out of that place and go into better areas,
Exactly, yeah.
where you're blossoming. But if you have a place where you can stand by and grow from,
But you want to feel comfortable in that place to continue to grow.
100%. And that's what I believe, that everybody deserves that right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, if you have somebody that's really sick, and like a hospital, it's a disease ward. Do they allow everybody just to walk in the disease ward?
Mm-mm.
No. And that's the same thing. The world is, we're full of pollution. We're full of diseases, and not necessarily diseases as physical diseases. It's just the way how we live our free will.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people don't understand the free will. They don't understand that they could actually gain benefits. Like, I mean, if they have their place, but why pollute a good place? It's like I said, with the hospitals, with a disease or they're not going to put other people in there and walk in there and get all diseased up.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way we should create our world and look at our world the same way. There should be areas where everybody has their rights. And
Mm-hmm.
if there's people that are really sick and really drugged out of it, they should have their place and their own place, because right now they're running around all over the place, and it's like diseasing up everything within that. And I think that they will understand it, because I was there myself, and the biggest thing is to understand them. And when you live that life, you can understand it. And I lived it. And more so, if they gave me a place in an area back then, I would have had a better chance of getting out of that area and out of that way of life.
Mm-hmm.
Then, when you're told to do something, you don't do it. But if you're led to do something and your free will there, you got that opportunity to get out of that position, and you have a better fighting chance.
Exactly, yeah.
But I don't know, like, I mean, we go on and on, and I say different things, but it really bottoms out to our world to become a better place.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus died on that cross to give us that better way of life, that we
Exactly.
can be forgiven and start over. So we all have that, chance.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
do you have anything else you'd like to share? Or?
Not really. Just happy Easter.
Yeah, happy Easter, guys, and hope God and Christ finds your way. Gets their way into you, and that you find your way out, and that you get a better life. We all deserve it.